Welcome to Tellypathic, your visit to the world of episodic telly with a strong backbone of Star Trek. We are your two hosts who are mad about telly, Mark and Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hey Mark, how's it going, man?
Not bad. Right, so we've had a little break, haven't we? I think we've had a bit of a break. Life, right?
Yeah, summer
In a good way.
holidays,
Summer
right? Yeah,
holidays and this, that. Both of us have been on holiday, so, or we've had a breaks and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And it's bloody hot.
Yeah, it's roasting in the UK. It has
It's
been for about a
absolutely.
month.
It's baking. It's like, I mean, the ground. I walk across fields, farm fields, a lot of days, and they are like concrete. Honestly, they're like
Yeah,
concrete.
yeah.
Yeah. So tonight is my choice, and I elected to pick the X Files. And it was I did pick one episode of the X Files, but I changed it very late, didn't I? I
Yeah, you
swear.
changed it the last second. I was
Last
almost about to
second.
boot up,
Last second.
and then I had to swap
We're
it.
going to be doing from season one an episode called Fire. Now, interestingly, we were going to be doing Beyond the Sea, which is the episode after Fire.
Yes, that's right.
Stone Cold Classic. Now, there was two reasons I swerved. One is we can't just keep doing classics. We got to do others. We got to do some of the others,
Okay.
even the really terrible ones, which this one isn't. Right, this is a
Yeah.
mid-tier, I'd say, lower to mid, maybe. If we just do that's just like having steak every night. You got to vary it up to appreciate the steak better, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
how I felt. So I wanted to do fire. And the second reason is I covered this on my original run in the X Files. X Files, which is a sub podcast that I used to do, mostly with Becky Booth. Becky, who I also did the Twin Peaks log with. So we did all the episodes of Twin Peaks, and we did quite a lot of the X Files. We got to about early season four, and for various reasons, we stopped recording. Um,
Yeah.
we're still getting on. We're still talking. Ain't nothing like that, right? Becky is super, super, super busy, but I do not want to continue the show with someone else. It's Becky and I show, my show. So the X Files is part indefinitely for now. However, it is available. You can find it on Spotify, for example, and that's X Files. Piles is the second one. A file. Like an audio file. Don't say it. Don't say
Nothing.
it. Don't
Nothing.
think it. Like an audio file or a Franco file, right? It's an X file, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Fire is one of those episodes. While not great, we had a lot of fun talking about it, and the more we talked about it, the more we realised we just wanted to go watch it again. It was one of those. And there's reasons, right, which we'll probably get into.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'll feel the same. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I've got no
Yeah,
idea if you,
I might be the grumpy old man. We'll see. We'll see how it
yes.
goes.
Okay, so fire. Okay, I don't know really even where to start this. We could should I mean, we usually do a brief plot synopsis, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay. All right, I'll try. I'll try.
This
And
one's pretty
I'm
brief.
doing
You could
this cold.
slice this right
I'm
down.
not
Yeah.
reading for any. I'm going to do it cold. So, Mulder and Scully are put onto a strange case of possibly a spontaneous human combustion by an old colleague, stroke lover of Mulder's called Phoebe Green from Scotland Yard. She's an inspector from Scotland Yard who tells them about these cases. And the last person that may have suffered from this is on a family visit to the US, and she still thinks he might be a target, and she wants Mulder's input. Fna fna. Um, and
Wow.
Mulder kind of wants to leave Scully out of it and go off and investigate. Meanwhile, Scully actually does police work, right?
Yeah.
And looks into
Yeah.
it. While these Mulder and his little friend Phoebe Green are off doing their thing, trying to investigate this case, but like they're
They
investigating.
solve
It's
nothing. They solve
terrible. It's
nothing.
terrible. Meanwhile, Scully's doing it all and trying to
Yeah.
tell them, and they're not really listening.
Yeah.
However, the main protagonist, let's call him Cecil, right? Is
Mm.
for now. We'll go into his
Yeah.
name. Um, is actually a strange being who can instigate fires. In addition, he can kind of survive burning to some degree. And it's a bit weird how this happens in the episode. But so it not only does he start fires, and he seems to love fires. He also can sort of set himself on fire, for example, in places, and it's very odd. There's also this plot about he's kind of obsessed with the wives of powerful men, possibly the aristocracy. So there's a weird connection there. So that's the sort of line in. And in the end, he does indeed threaten this family, and the case kind of gets resolved in an interesting way. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we also find out something interesting about Mulder, that he's terrified of fire.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
He has
which
this Superman moment where he's like, "Ah, my weakness, my one weakness."
yeah, I make this. But as I said to Becky on the recording about this, isn't that everyone's terror, right? Fire is like it's like sharks, right? It's just everyone's scared of fire, right? I mean,
Yeah.
naturally. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, he's paralysis. This is a kind of paralysis. Okay, let's go high level thoughts. What do you think of it?
I think I'm on the side of weak to okay. I'd say high level 4 out of 10.
I would not argue with that. And I
Yeah.
remember when I actually first, and I said this to Becky during our recording. I said, when before we start recording, I had this as a like a 4 out of 10. But
Yeah.
now for me, it's a 6.
Oh, okay.
Just talking it through made me realize how much I enjoyed it. And you know what? Watching it again, it's gone up to a 7 for me. Can you believe
Really?
that?
That is
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
So yeah, this is
Um,
like my fourth watch of this episode, I'd say.
okay, so you've seen it a few
I've
times.
seen it a few times and yeah, it didn't like it hasn't got better for me personally.
Yeah,
But I haven't really chatted about it too much, right? We haven't chatted about this one too much. So
yeah. Let's
um
throw it about. I have
yeah.
to say the bad guy, Mark Shepherd, played by Mark Shepherd here,
Hmm.
is actually very good. I think
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good villain.
it's
Uh,
crazy how young
it's
he
given,
is in
yeah.
this.
Oh man, yeah. And the thing is, even though he's not written that well, he is really good. The actor is just bringing it for
Yeah,
this,
he's quality. Yeah,
and
he's a good.
he's sinister in all the right ways. And
Yeah.
he just and there's one at least one really good scene where you get how skeevy and creepy he is, right?
Hmm.
The
With the one with the children.
Yes, which we'll
Yeah,
come
yeah.
to, but the one with the children is specifically what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
uh, but there are so many goofy moments and goofy lines throughout this episode. Some of them intentional, absolutely intentional, but it's how it's played is really funny. And Mulder is so different in this compared to how he is. You know, he's a confident, reasonably confident. You know, he has his self doubts, right? But in
Yeah.
this, he comes across like a little boy to
Mm,
me,
yeah.
who's out of his depth, and it's odd. And I guess that's partly the fear thing they're trying to promote, but partly it's just I think there's like zero chemistry between him and the actress playing Phoebe Green, and it doesn't help.
Yeah.
She looks like she's I don't know how you'd. It's almost like it's a controlling relationship, and Mulder's the one being pushed around. That's how it
Yeah.
kind of feels to me, right? Okay, let's talk about the opening scene, which is well, no, not the opening scene. The first scene with Mulder's character. The opening scene's
Okay.
kind of interesting. You know, we see an elderly man, who I think he's meant to be an MP or something, a member of Parliament,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
outside. It says 70 miles outside London, and he's going out to his Rolls Royce to say goodbye to the servants, including Cecil the gardener, who's an Irish fella, who literally says "top of the morning, sir." Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, okay, okay.
okay. Um, uh, just before bursting into flames in front of his young trophy wife.
Which
Yeah.
is- and everyone's like screaming, and it just cuts to Mark Shep Cecil He's just got an evil grin on his
Grin on his
face.
face. Yes.
And then it cuts the title, and I was like, man, one of the cheesiest starts to X-Files ever.
Yeah, the point I made to Becky about this, and I've got to kind of stop. No, I'm not going to stop referring to that episode. You can go and listen to it if you like. Is this guy is evil for evil's sake? They set up all these reasons he's doing this, but none of it is there on screen. We are told, oh, he's kind of obsessed with the wives of the,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, yeah.
writes them
So,
weird letters and things like that. And then they go on
yeah,
about a devil cult at one point and things like
uh-huh,
nothing,
yeah.
nothing to do with the episode, right?
No, well, I really okay. So this is why it's got a 4 out of 10 because for the supernatural side of this episode, I really like
Hmm.
because my off-screen analysis, right? So like, um, Scully's kind of psychoanalyzing, creating a profile for the killer, right? She's saying things like he's probably a young man, he's probably sexually frustrated, he's targeting unobtainable women, and like, maybe he's taking frustrations out. Like, she's coming up with this a normal person's psychoanalysis, right?
Yes.
And then obviously we find out that he's called himself Cecil before, but Cecil had died as part of this like satanic cult thing. So it's probably just a name that he's taken,
Yeah,
right?
a name of someone he knew or something.
Someone he knew,
Because
and
he's a young man, and they're talking about this happening in the early 70s. So it's like, so when he
yeah.
was one, who are you talking about?
So
Well,
is the implication, which isn't brought up, is the implication that he's some kind of demon,
that is possible. That
right?
is
Who's been
possible.
brought from across, he came out of this ritual. He's come across
Yeah,
to the human realm
unfortunately, that isn't. That would have been way more interesting if that had been actually presented as a possibility, rather than you gathering that from these couple of
from
statements
couple
made.
of statements. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I like that for it. I
Yeah,
like, and because he has this unnatural ability, like obviously he can control fire, which is something humans can't do. And then he has this unnatural healing ability from fire, which again, is something we can't do. And then you tie that in with the rest of the classic X-Files of them like, oh, maybe he's using like rocket fuel, which is why we can't detect
which it kind of is
traces.
as well.
Yeah, and they can
Which
smell it on him, right? Which again is like maybe maybe he is just a human. And but then I love that about the X-Files, and that's why it gets a 4 out of 10, is it has that blurriness between whether he is a
yeah,
demon or
yeah,
if he's just a person who's, you know, clever with chemicals.
yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, yes. I think he's definitely has the ability to start fires. I like the fact he can regenerate. I mean, he burns his own hand at one point, but he's totally fine in the next scene we see it. Um,
Mm.
I mean,
But
it doesn't just burn it; it's literally on fire like the Human Torch, isn't it?
what makes
And
you
he's
say though that
laughing.
he can definitely start fires? Because we've seen that he's got sleight of hand, right? We've seen it multiple
Oh
times.
yes, you're
He's got
right.
clever.
What I
He's
was thinking
clever
of
with
was
sleight of hand.
the cigarette coming to light on its own, but
He
you're
could have
right. That
planned it.
can be a magician's trick, can't it? Because
Yeah, and it's the
you
same
can
with the
have
guy's coat.
matches and candles that just relight themselves, can't you? Relight
Yeah,
themselves, so it could be that.
odorless fuel all over the guy's coat. Like it's
Oh no!
possible.
Well, again, it could be. Again, I was just going to say he does light up an entire corridor. However, like you say, could be a sleight of hand thing. It could be, right? We
Yeah.
just don't know.
And I love that about it. I was just like, oh, it's so cool. He's either
Now
a
it
demon
could
or he's a
be.
very clever human.
This obsession with fire is he realizes he can regenerate himself quickly from burns, and that would give him like this kind of weird relationship with fire that the rest of us
Yeah.
don't have. Because we the rest of us get burnt, we stay burnt, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
stay very damaged. But he doesn't, so it could be. We don't know. But yeah, I think Mark Shepard was the real strong point of this episode. Got to tell you
Yeah.
something else about this episode, right?
Go on.
In fact, the
Go on.
series. Believe
Okay.
it or not, the suits had severe doubts about Gillian Anderson
Hmm.
as an ongoing character, right?
Yes, that's right. I remember.
And they were considering bringing in Phoebe Green as a
As the main.
replacement.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I think this episode put that to bed. Not because Gillian Anderson, well, I mean, the thing is, Beyond the Sea came the next week. If you don't, if you can watch that and think Gillian Anderson, I don't know about her, you are mad, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
You're mad.
Yeah,
So there was probably a combo, but thing is, even if she wasn't meant to replace Scully, they'd also had her considered as a recurring character. Didn't ever come back again.
no.
Probably
Should we?
tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. Should we talk about Phoebe Green just for a little bit then?
Let's talk about Phoebe Green. Right. So the first scene we see Mulder and Scully, they're getting into their car, and Scully's like, the car's unlocked. And Mulder's like, I'm sure I locked it. And
Yeah.
Scully's like, maybe we should open an X file.
Yeah, trolling instantly.
It's the trolley. And when I get in, there's a cassette tape on the dashboard, and I go, what's that? He goes, well, I don't know, but I bet you can't dance to it.
Hmm.
Says
Hmm.
Mulder, puts it in, and then the woman's voice comes on and says, "So and so, someone in the UK got into their car, and there was a tape just like this one." Um, and what they didn't realise is, as they tried to get out, there was enough plastic explosives to put the car on top of a three-story building, half a mile away, or something like that. Basically, it's setting up. They're in it, sitting in a car bomb, right? And it gets all
Yeah.
tense, and then Big Green opens the door, surprise, or something.
Hmm.
It's like, so seriously, that's how you approach FBI agents, is it? Fake a car bombing for them. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
stupid.
it is stupid. And I was like, there's a few times where they talk about the IRA. And
They
obviously
do.
that comes up a couple of times. And obviously the car bombing thing was, obviously that was like widely used. And then in this episode, we've got like MPs being targeted, and
Fire.
Mulder suspects straight away that it could be IRA.
He does mention that, and like she's like, we've got no proof for that, and she goes through other stuff. But
Yeah,
she
interesting. It comes up.
basically she kind of proves throughout the episode she is a terrible, terrible copper. She doesn't know what she's doing. If
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
it's weird, man. It's weird. So like Phoebe Green, like they set her up as highly intelligent.
oh yeah, she was at Oxford with Mulder, so they know each other from Oxford, and we know that Mulder went to Oxford, and Mulder's a genius, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
but
kind of implied in those conversations that she was beyond him as
yes,
well. Like looked up to her. That's
yes.
how, like, that's where the like, dynamic comes from, is that she's just way smarter than he is.
And at one point, she actually says, "I figured you'd be interested in a free pipe problem," and
Yes.
goes away. I really love how Gillian Anderson plays this. She
Hmm.
underplays it, right? She really, you could tell she could have really gone for the, an eye rolling and stuff, but she doesn't, does she? She
No, it's
just
great.
puts up with these. It's like being in a room with a couple of horny teenagers. Really, that's kind of how it fits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, uh, yes,
I think they do Scully well. I think Scully sees right through her. Um,
and the thing is, she's quite a witch towards Scully. She kind of acts like she's not. The only time she acknowledges her as she's leaving, bye, and
yeah, I
that's
think
it,
because
right?
it's like that classic thing of when somebody knows that they can be seen through, right?
Yeah.
They just try not to engage with the person that's clearly seeing through
Yes,
them,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah,
And I do like the fact that Scully
it's a good
doesn't actually
dynamic.
say to Mulder anything bad about her, other than she has the. Well, she comes up with a great line at one point and says, "You seem to have dropped everything to help Phoebe
Hmm.
Green." And he goes, "I'm just extending a hospitality." And he goes, "Oh, is that what you're extending?" She says.
Yeah, that's a good line. Yeah, and I think if the writers really wanted to get rid of Gillian Anderson, they did a bad job because they wrote her really well in this
Yeah,
episode.
and she plays it beautifully.
Yeah, yeah,
What does make me laugh is how she's able to do a load of police work in a what, I don't know, say a 24 or 36-hour period, and
yeah.
get way further into the case than Phoebe Green's got in about 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
and it's not, she doesn't do anything mind-blowing, right? Because again, it's
No,
that,
she profiles and
yeah, she does some profiling and then does some name checking and
yeah,
then cross-references that with people who like use their passports, visas to get across to the US.
yeah. And she does come up
Um,
with a name, Cecil Lively, and she goes, "But I found someone else, not Cecil Lively, but Cecil Lively, with an
yeah,
apostrophe."
yeah.
Came
And
into
then
Boston, a week ago, and all this, that, and the other, and it's like,
gets a
well,
face drawing of arson felons that like of like a ref sorry, an arson with an arson record on all of those names. She goes, Garrett, can I have a face picture of what Cecil looks like? Because he had a fire crime, right, against his name.
yeah,
Then she's got a picture of him, and then she's
and
like,
it's
"Oh,
like
that's the driver for what we
that's
saw
the
earlier."
driver, and
And she solved the case straight away.
Phoebe doesn't know what he looks like. Even it's so weird. It is so weird.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, we're kind of jumping about a bit.
Yeah, sorry,
Well,
let's go back to Phoebe.
the story kind of deserves that, to be honest.
What doesn't work for you for Phoebe?
Right. The way she talks.
The British accent.
No, it's there's two things about
Right.
that. Is
Mm.
it's clearly, and America wrote this to be how they think English people talk,
Right.
right? Rather than how English people talk. She
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
in and she says, a bloke, and it's like, no, a copper, even a working class copper would not say that when discussing a case, right? It's just ridiculous. And the other thing is, she over enunciates everything. Honestly, I felt like I was watching like Airplane, an
Yeah.
airplane version of the X-Files. And like it was just
I
weird,
think
man.
I
It
think
was
for
just
me,
weird.
it's the lack of on-screen chemistry.
No chemistry whatsoever.
And you see it, you can actually make a comparison in this episode when they're in the room with Gillian Anderson. Scully and Mulder are bouncing off each other. They've almost got sexual tension, and they're not even
Interesting.
talking really
Yeah.
about or to each other. They're just talking about Phoebe, and it's like they're more interested in each other talking about. I was just like, yeah, okay, this isn't working with this Phoebe character. And like you
Honest.
say, they kind of don't give Phoebe Green the same graces that they give Gillian Anderson. Like they don't make her good at solving cases. They don't they don't give her any clever lines. She's just kind of annoying. So
Yes.
I feel like the writers didn't want it to work. I think they threw
Do you
it.
think that it's possible? It's possible.
It's possible.
The other thing is, you just got this feeling between Mulder and Phoebe Green. It was almost the case of she groomed him or something. he, 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 he
Yeah.
had to
Yeah,
hide in a happy place in her presence. It was
they
almost
hammer
that
home that it was
feeling.
her fault that it ended and she
Yes.
did something wrong. And then later in the episode, it's found out that she's probably sleeping with the MP that she's been asking for help with. And you're like, oh, for God's
Oh
sake.
my goodness.
Like,
I do like this one line where she's talking to Mike. And she goes, I thought you'd have forgotten all this by now. And he goes, you forget I'm cursed with a photographic memory, which I forgot. I forgot he's supposed to have a photographic memory because it's rarely ever discussed. And she says,
yeah.
but do you remember that evening on
On
a
Arthur
foggy
Conan
night at
Doyle's
our
grave.
grave?
Fucking hell.
Blech.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, so anyway, let's get back to the case.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm not. It's the way. Maybe it's the way Duchovny played it. He plays it almost like a victim, where he didn't have to. Like, there's
Mhm.
lines in it which could be like someone being studly, right? But he plays it almost like a victim. Like, for one point, Scotty goes, "I've got some stuff I found. I want to come up and fly up." And he goes, "I've got my hands full." Now, if it had been Studley, it'd have been, "I got my hands full." But
Oh, right,
the
right. I see
company
what you're
looked like it was
saying.
going to cry when he
Yeah,
said that line,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, maybe
uh,
that's why the chemistry just it didn't work. It didn't
no.
there was no
Yeah,
gelling of
and
those
and
two
also
people.
they start discussing it, and Mulder says, "I've never told it to Scully. I've never told this to him. I'm terrified." And he gives a reason why he's terrified of fire. Something when he was young, involved in fire, and how much he
Hmm.
hates it. And Scully's like, so she brought you into a case specifically about fire.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Phoebe Green is fire. Blech.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's Phoebe, unfortunately. We will never see her again. Mm.
yeah. I still, you know what? I really still enjoy watching this episode, and I just talking about. I want to go watch it again now. It's that bad. Yeah. So, right. Anyway, so we find out that Cecil has killed the housekeeper that apparently has worked for this couple for 10 years. That they
No.
act, no,
Uh,
they do say, oh no, it's the driver's
the
work for the time. Oh
driver,
yeah, I
yes,
got
because
that wrong.
they're
Yeah,
coming to the US
yeah, I got that
for a
wrong.
visit, or they bought a new home. I can't remember
No,
which.
I think it's a visit,
Yeah, and
but the
he's
person running the
pretending to
house
be the
is,
janitor.
yeah, and he's painting the house, but we know well, we find out it's with these accelerants, right? Um,
Yes, and he's killed the
yeah, he basically says,
actual janitor.
I'm the housekeeper now, so like, and we see a buried hand. Well,
Well, a dog. He
a dog's
kicks a
been
dog.
digging.
He
He kicks
kicks
a
a dog,
dog.
Mark.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Holy.
just evil. That's just evil.
Yeah.
Um, and he's kind of hanging around the house and kind of watching the wife a bit. You know, there's a bit of that. The thing is, this whole thing about him being obsessed and writing letters, um, it, it is really they're telling us that. You don't actually see that in the way he acts. You really don't
Mm,
understand his. To be honest, from just watching him, it's hard to work out his motivations other than jealousy, or he's just psychopathic and he paranoid
yeah.
mad.
You're right.
That works better,
It
actually.
works. It works for me. Yeah, like the psycho profiles that they try and put on him are just that. They're trying to put something together. But the actions that we watch, he does some of it. Like you get a scene where he's like watching the wife from the garden,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Oh, and he's concentrating on him. Basically, we get a close up of a torso, you know, as she's going
yeah,
around the kitchen, aren't we? I mean, it's not lascivious. She's demurely dressed, but it is. He's not even looking at her head. He's just looking at her, her her body, basically, as
yeah.
she's walking around the kitchen. And then we get this really quite chilling scene with the kids, right? The two
Mm.
boys, they're two boys, and he starts talking to them. He said, "Do you want to see a trick?" And he starts doing tricks with cigarettes, like making it disappear and it come out of his ear. And he shows the scene where he's got three in his mouth and one of them lights on its own, then he starts like, "Have you ever, taken? Have you ever smoked a cigarette?" And one of the goes, "No, it's about they're about what 12." Would you say
I
something
was
like
gonna
that?
say like 8, 10.
I thought they're a bit older, but yeah, then
They're
they're
young.
quite young, and they go, "No, no, it's bad for you." And he's going, "Oh, come on, do you want to be a man or not?" Sort of stuff, and that is like you're watching the beginning of a abusive relationship kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
vibe.
horrible.
It's horrible and it's tense and it's icky, right?
And he
Um,
plays it really well.
and he
It's
plays it really well, and the kids are all right. Act,
believable. Yeah,
yeah.
it's horrible.
Yeah. So, credit to Mark Shepard. Now we got to just talk about Mark Shepard. He was on a lot in the 2000s. Popped up a lot, and he was always good, right?
Yeah, I remember him most from Battlestar Galactica. He was like
Yeah, he was the
the lawyer.
shithill lawyer, right?
Yeah, he
Wasn't
was
that?
awesome. He was awesome in that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I remember him from Firefly. He played like this
That's
fence,
right.
dodgy fence called
Yeah.
Badger. I also remember him from. Oh, I say that. I can't remember.
Supernatural.
So, oh yeah, no, I don't
Yeah.
remember him from that because I haven't seen this far into Supernatural. But he plays a
Oh,
major, major antagonist in
yeah.
Supernatural, and apparently he's awesome in that.
He is awesome in
Uh,
that.
oh, you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he
Dude, we should
was.
do some Supernatural. We should.
I agree. I agree. I've watched
Mm.
most of the first season, but for some reason, I keep not progressing it. I
Okay.
always get something else. To be honest, I've watched The Prisoner nearly twice this year, where I could be watching Supernatural or indeed Star Trek, right? But there you go. Um,
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway,
Took you off
yeah. So
track.
Shepard is, it's a great act. He was in a lot of shows and was hitting it out the park in all of them, right?
Hmm.
This is his one turn in the X Files. Now, I feel that this episode could have had a sequel. it kind of set up to have a sequel, and it might have been a better, objectively better, but I can't believe it would be as entertaining as this one.
No. Well, yeah, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about the ending a little bit.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
this is
it's really cool.
one of the weaker parts of the episode for me, from like a conclusion perspective.
Yeah.
That the X-Files is so good usually at the endings. I really
Do you
didn't like this
think?
one.
I'm not sure it is.
I think it is
I think
sometimes.
this
It is sometimes.
this
On my
felt like
favorite episodes, it is good. But
okay. All right, good. Go on
in
then. Let's talk
this,
about the ending. So,
yeah.
basically, well, we're going to go back and talk about some of this, but basically, they kind of now figured out who he is and what he's doing. Stuff's happening, which we're going to come back to, but he kind of Phoebe Green in proper procedural police form throws fire accelerant on him, right? As you
Yeah.
do, right? And he bursts into flames. Is that what we're talking about? Is that, or did you mean the very?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Like
and
yeah, I mean it all kind of links,
he's
doesn't it?
massively in flames in the garden, and he's just laughing and saying, "You can't fight fire with fire," over and over.
Mm.
I really liked it.
I like it too. I
I
like that bit
really
too. But
liked it.
what kind of puts it down for me a little bit is then he just kind of crumples.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, oh, okay, maybe you guess you can.
yeah. Yeah,
Do
fight
you know
fire
what I
with
mean? It would have been
fire.
cool if he just disappeared or something like that. Like the
Just,
fire, um, made it so he disappeared, and all that was left was the
I think
ashes or
you're
something like
right.
that.
That would have been a better
And
ending.
they would have gone, did he what? Like, right? Did he get away? Was it a trick? Did he manage to like, or is he supernatural? And it would have been filed under one of those cases that they do where they're like, it gets filed under unsolved.
Yeah.
Thick ending. That's what I would have done. But instead, they have him just crumple to the floor. And he's like, yeah, he's got loads of third-degree burns. And the weird thing is, he slowly heals them. It's
His
like, oh,
basal
come
cells are
on.
healing, and he was in like an iron tank, wasn't he? All burnt
Yeah.
up right at the end. And the nurse
Yeah.
says, "Can I get you anything?" He goes, "I'm dying for a cigarette." He says,
Yeah, which is cool. That's a cool line.
"Yeah, the makeup looked good." I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
went
but
for
you're
the
right. If it
the
had
body
just
horror
disappeared,
bit.
that'd
Yeah.
been the thing is to me that whole when he was just going, "You can't fight fire with fire." It was like almost like a weird inversion of the Wicked Witch of the West. Where she's
Yeah.
screaming and in pain and just melting and just repeating the same phrase over and over. What a world! What a world!
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um, he's
True.
saying, and he's laughing, saying, "You can't fight fire with fire."
Yeah, so that's I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is the demon thing, right? Like he's a
Yes.
demon and he's like laughing at the humans for trying to destroy him with fire. Like that's ridiculous, right? But yeah, then he was like, no, no, and then he just crumpled to the floor.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what you suggested would have been actually a stronger ending.
Mm.
However, that whole honestly, I think that's an ending for his whole you can't fight for is an ending for the ages. Myself, it looks cool, but
Yeah, yeah. Him laughing
the
at the
following scene is really what we're talking about as a weakness, right?
yeah, yeah. They put him in an isobaric chamber or something like that, and then they talk about how things have been
Kick
like spontaneously setting fire
fire
around it and stuff.
around him.
And I just thought, no, it doesn't add. That's not scary. It's not ominous. It's just like, well, we know what he is. He's a dude that can control fire or whatever, right? I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah. Um,
didn't
Another
like the
thing
ending.
I liked, there's a few other things I liked about the episode. The music was pretty good. I really also thought the fire effects were pretty good. They were like properly, shit,
Yeah,
that looks bad. When the whole rooms were on fire and the bit where the ceiling was on fire was amazing,
that was
actually.
cool. I really liked
Yeah.
the bar scene too, with his whole
Yeah.
arm and then the bar
Weirdly, the
itself.
bit where he puts his arm on the bar and the whole bar lights up made me think of Indiana Jones. The bar,
Oh, right,
the
yeah,
bar
yeah,
fight in Indiana Jones. Because it's like, oh wow, all that. So they just spilled a load of spirits on the bar or something. I don't know.
yeah. From Dusk Till Dawn, it reminded me of.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
someone
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. But it did make
Yeah.
me laugh because I presume he wants to be incognito, and yet he goes to a bar and lights his arm up and burns it.
Yeah,
And
it's
as
another thing.
Mulder says, they were across the road from a fire station. It was burnt to the ground before anyone could get there. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Like it just that bit didn't make sense. And it was a funny moment because it was after the psychoanalysis where Scully's saying that he's probably methodical and plans his attacks, and then he
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah,
burns
yeah.
down this
And
place.
the other thing, he's probably a loner and can't form a relationship. Yeah, he was doing fine with that woman in the bar. He doesn't
Yeah.
not have any problems socializing, does he, when he wants to?
I don't know,
So
man. I mean, he did set her on fire.
yeah, but if he hadn't have, you know,
Yeah, I think he
um,
was always going to set her on
he might have
fire.
extended something to her. I don't know. You know,
Oh,
Hey. um, I was also wondering the three pipe solution was that like a sexual reference? I know it's from Sherlock Holmes. When Holmes has a certain difficulty level of difficulty, he describes it in terms of number of pipes he needs to
hmm.
smoke to solve it, right? And
Yeah.
that's a problem thing. But I was given their past relationship, I was thinking because Mulder when um, Scully asks free pipe solution, he goes, "Oh, it's a private joke."
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I can form those connections in my mind.
yeah, yes,
I'd rather not, but I can.
yeah. What is hilarious about this episode, though, really, is how inept a copper Phoebe Green is compared to,
Yeah, it's baffling. It's a
it's,
baffling decision to make
yeah,
her bad. Because usually, right, and usually in American shows, so we'll give the Americans some credit, either the British are the bad guys, and we've got some underhanded plot happening,
shit heel, yeah,
which is actually what happens, right? Because the underhanded plot is that she's just trying to help out her boyfriend.
yeah. I mean,
But
there's
but
that's a small element, but
that's
yeah,
a small element, but I guess kind of true. But in this, or the other thing they do is they make us incredibly competent, but we
yeah,
can't do the heavy lifting, right?
yeah.
And then in this, they've made us buffoons. Just like
Yeah.
we're terrible. Like
And
we've been on the case for three
yeah,
years,
yeah,
apparently. Like, and we let
yes.
the person escape the country and start causing trouble in
Yeah, and we
America, which
don't do
is
any basic policing. Like, we don't
yeah,
know what any suspects look like or anything.
we know nothing about it. Yeah, which is
Yes.
yeah, interesting. Because again, it's different if they're like, hey, it's like a weird if it's like a weird case and we're not spending any resources on it, like the X-Files.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
was.
not. She says she's been doing it for 3 years.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
There
it's
was
weird.
some one other weird thing about this episode, and I could have this wrong.
Go on.
But I was thinking, were they deliberately trying to make Mulder look younger in this? Because his hair was brushed for instead of his usual sort of comb back hair or
Hmm.
parted hair, his hair was kind of. He almost had a fringe. You
Yeah.
know, it was
Yeah,
combed
yeah.
forward like younger men tend to wear their hair, right? And it was like,
Yeah.
and he just looked like a baffled little boy through so much of this. It was so weird. Um, I did like the bit of his character where he went to try and rescue the boys from the fire in the hotel,
Yeah.
but his fear overcame him, and then the driver, i.e., the bad guy, rescued them, and he was really pissed off about that, and he felt he'd let everyone down by not being able to overcome it, which he then tries to do and kind of succeeds at again, later in the episode. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I was also thinking of when he was like frozen in fear. It made me think of Vertigo. Hitchcock's Vertigo a little.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
I,
so there was
I
a bit of
I
that.
did kind of like that, he's it was kind of silly. There was a good opportunity to like raise awareness about smoke inhalation
Oh
because he's
yeah,
kind of in bed, right? He's cooked after
hopping
that.
away. Yeah, yeah,
And then they're just like, yeah, and he's back up and running.
yeah. It
And
takes
I'm like,
days to get over that,
I'm
doesn't
like,
it?
yeah, it would have been, yeah, or more, right? It can be like serious. And it was just kind of like,
I mean,
okay.
one good cigar can affect your breathing for a day. Never mind about full smoke installations,
Yeah, just in
right?
a hallway of like it's all on fire.
Yes.
And that was it. It was a nice touch, right? Like it's a good psychopath move to be like, I'm gonna save the kids to get closer to the family. Like,
To be able to like get them where I want
yeah, it
them
was a
as
cool
well.
idea. But yeah, I thought all of that was pretty cool actually. And like you say, the effects in the hotel were pretty cool.
One other thing that kind of made me giggle a bit was the driver who had a bad cough. Um, Now,
Yeah.
he appeared to just have a bad cough, but it could have been written so that it was almost like Cecil could have produced smoke as well to make,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they didn't do that. And honestly, the episode was packed anyway. They probably couldn't have done any more than they. So he offers to go and get some cough syrup, doesn't he? Uh,
Yeah.
which I presume he's putting accelerant in because I couldn't really work this out. Basically, the driver gets worse and worse and he's coughing and coughing. And he walks out of the room, and Cecil looks at the cough syrup and says, maybe it's the cough syrup. He's basically almost wiggling his eyebrows at that point. Right? It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, wow,
The
that's so
thing the thing
pantomime.
that I didn't understand, right, is that he's been gone for days, right? And they're like, we need the driver to take us to this thing in the hotel, right? And that's why Cecil's able to become the driver,
Oh, I
right?
thought they said he was ill. I thought they
Yeah,
said
he
he
was
was
ill.
ill.
He's ill,
Okay.
right? And so they're like, oh, he's ill. We haven't seen him for a while, right? Okay, fine. And then we find him completely immolated in the bathroom, right? He's completely burnt to death in the bathroom. Like they find his
Oh, yeah,
body.
yeah.
And
And
I'm
we
like,
see it
I'm
full on.
sorry, has no one smelt the charred corpse that has been in this room
What's
for
that smell?
like
Yeah.
what? What are we doing? This makes no
Oh, I don't know.
sense. At least he
Uh,
hid the other bodies, right?
yeah, and the other thing, Phoebe does mention she knows the driver, and he's like an ex. She kind of implies he's ex SAS, or he's got special training and all this.
Right, right.
Uh, but when a boy, the other boyfriend, turns up with a completely different bloke, she doesn't say it. I mean, it's not noted. In fact, she even shakes his hand when he saves the kids, right? But I
Oh
couldn't work out.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
she know
yeah.
he's the driver at
Does
that
she
point, or
know?
does she think he's some another guest who saved the kid? I couldn't work it out.
That's a great question. I didn't analyze those words well
Yeah,
enough. She's,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
so weird. It doesn't quite add up, and I feel that's possibly a fault of the script, um, rather than Phoebe. But it doesn't help to make her. It doesn't make her look any better, does it? It's
No.
basic things like that, sort of flying past the copper's head. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Phoebe
Yeah.
Green is kind of awesome, but awful at the same time.
Yeah, just awful for me. Just nothing against the actor. I think yeah, I don't think it's on her at all. I think it's just badly written. She gets a really short straw. She's up against Gillian Anderson. Like she's got no hope.
Yeah, and it's weird
Um,
that I think you might be right. Maybe the writers, because if the suits were saying we want this new person, Chris Carter wrote. I believe Chris Carter wrote this one, right? Did he?
yeah, I
Yes.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
so.
it could be he specifically wrote it to make her look terrible as a character.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
think how good Scully looks in this episode. Like she
oh, she
looks
does.
pretty great.
Yeah, she
Like
does. And her chemistry with Coveney,
yeah, the
Jesus Christ,
chemistry
it's
is
off
really
the
good,
charts.
and she solves the case. I'm
Yeah.
just saying the writers had all the cards and they played them.
That never occurred to me. It makes a lot of sense, actually. It does make a lot
Yeah,
of sense that because Phoebe Green's just like she's borderline village idiot kind of
yeah, it's
thing.
just not right. It's not right.
Yeah, like I say, a lot of her dialogue was written like that's an American writing someone who thinks they think is sounding English is
Yeah, yeah,
it's like the words not the accent, the words are Dick Van Dyke-ish, you know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah,
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 the
yeah.
weird thing is this episode, as I mentioned, comes before Beyond the Sea, which is one of the great X-Files episodes. But the one before it is Eve, which doesn't get talked about much, but it's a really terrific episode with really great performances in. Um,
Now I'm going to ask you a question because we talked about this before with the prisoner. Is the running order the same as film, like the intended film order.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to work out from the production codes, right? So, for example, Fire is production code 11, right? So it's the
Right.
11th, even though it's the 12th episode, it's 11. I'm just going to look on Eve. If I look on Eve's production, it is 10. So, yes, Eve was intended to come
And what
before,
about
just
Beyond the
before,
Sea? Is
just
Beyond
having
the
a
Sea
look.
13? Because
Well, I suspect that might be later because there was a bit of to and fro about getting Brad Dourif if you wanted too much. No, it is. It's 12. Yeah, its production code is 12.
interesting.
So yeah, but there was that one, and we'll talk about it whenever we'll do Beyond the Seats sometime soon, sometime, won't we?
Yeah, it's one of
We'll
the
talk
best
about
episodes
it
of
there.
season one. Yeah.
But it's they had a bit of wrangling about getting Brad Dourif because he wanted too much money. However, when you see the episode, you think whatever he asked, just give him the money. Right. Because
Yeah. Yeah. And,
wow,
and again, Gillian Anderson knocks it out of the park. I don't
indeed,
think she ever had a hope um, of,
yeah, yeah. Phoebe Green was.
I,
I would
what?
would
Yeah.
can you imagine a parallel universe where Phoebe Green becomes Mulder's companion or
Maybe,
other
the
half?
if the writers are fully invested, I think it probably works out.
I've got a feeling there's some
I think it probably
weird old
works out.
fanfic out there with Phoebe Green, where she's like she's got Mulder sleeping at the bottom of the bed and things like that. It's just
Are you advertising stuff again?
no, no, no. It's just their relationship. I'll tell you what it reminded me of. You know how in The Office, Michael Scott and Jan, their relationship was.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
reminded me of that.
Oh my God. That's so true.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and the way he talks about Phoebe Green is fire. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
and I feel like even the reading of that wasn't how it was probably intended. It's definitely she makes me feel ill. I can't stand this woman, but he doesn't say that, right? But that's kind of what the company's putting across here.
yeah.
Uh, so it's all very odd. It's all
Hmm.
very their
It's an
relationship
odd one.
is does feel kind of semi-abusive in some respects, even though
Yeah.
it never comes out with it.
And it doesn't happen that often in the X-Files that we get like a truly international um like team, I guess.
Yes,
They kind of it feels like after this they kind of walk away from that as a thing, even though it's kind of a cool idea, right? Like, oh, MI6, the KGB, we've all been looking into this. Like, yeah, that's a cool idea. They do touch on it sometimes, right? But
yeah.
they definitely stay away from the like an
What?
extra main character kind of thing.
Yeah, one element of this, and unfortunately, I really did like, which was the lab guy they went to see, who
That's right.
absolutely loved fire. Right,
Mm.
that was really good. It almost felt like a precursor to the lone gunman kind of thing.
Yeah, and
It's just this mad lab bloke, right? I really liked it. It's a shame that character never came back. I don't think he did anyway.
I
And
don't think so. That was the one scene where they were trying to show that Phoebe Green was intelligent, right? Because she was asking like intelligent questions based on his analysis of the body
she
or the or the
was.
or the
That is
problem,
true. That is
and
true.
he
Yeah.
was impressed, right? Like in the conversation, he's like, "Yes, that's true. That is clever.
Yeah.
That is a pertinent question." And she bounces off him, and she knows what he's talking about, which I
Yeah.
liked. I was like, "Oh, okay." But we never see that character ever again. She gets replaced by some
Yeah. Yeah.
doppelganger
But
after
this
that.
this lab guy he was a good character and it worked. And it's funny when Scarlett, you could tell he was sort of written to be kind of he had an eye for the ladies because he was kind of giving Phoebe Green, a bit of glad eye. And when Scully turned up, he was like sucking the end of his glasses and like, he quite liked Scully too. You could tell, but he wasn't like lechy. You could tell he
The
liked
way
the.
you described it was awful.
Yeah, sorry, that's bad, isn't it? But I like that scene, low scenes with him. I felt that he was a good character. Um,
Yeah,
um,
interesting. Hmm.
yeah, it's really weird that an episode about an ex-lover of Mulder just tells us how much chemistry Mulder and Scully have got. rather than Mulder and Phoebe Green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 and the best parts of the supernatural side of the episode I've put together in my brain from the clues that they've given me in the show, which is one of the real things I like about X-Files. X-Files lets my brain do that,
yeah.
and that's why I love it.
Yeah, I still think your 4 out of 10 is too low. Because there's other great, Mark Shepherd alone should add a bit to that, I'd say.
I mean,
Myself.
yeah, yeah, he is the 4 out of 10. I mean,
Oh,
there's
is
not
he?
much
Okay.
else.
Not
I mean,
Scully.
not well, yeah, no, I stick by it. I stick by it. I think four out
Twisted
of
your arm,
ten.
yeah. I'm twisted your arm.
Yeah, I will
Um,
not be twisted. I think it is a 4 out of 10. I think
you know
they.
what? I think if you had a few beers and you watched this with your mates, you'd this might be,
Yeah,
what episode of the X Files should we watch?
yeah,
Fire,
yeah. Is
right?
it our casino? Is that our Casino Royale?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. It's there was one other scene that kind of made me laugh, which was they had Mulder and Phoebe Green at a ball, right? And she was wearing a ball gown, he was wearing a tux that looked like he'd been ill. It was a bit baggy.
yeah, it did not
um,
work, did it? Yeah,
yeah, no, but because of the budget, they don't show a full ballroom. They just see you hear people talking in another
yeah,
room, and you hear like music playing, and him and her just start dancing outside the ballroom, i.e., just those two start
yeah,
dancing outside rather than set them in a ballroom dance. And the other thing that made that for me is that's when Scully turns up. She walks down the corridor, she sees these two dancing, she just turns around. It's like, what the fuck?
yeah. Well, weirdly, she sees the driver like perving on them, right?
She does. She
And
does.
then she looks back and then back again, and he's gone. And I was like, what's the purpose of that? Like, how is
Well,
he
she does
aware that this
actually.
is law enforcement?
He
Right?
was
He
watching you.
doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe. Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
just too
You're
random. It
right.
was. I was like, yeah, didn't that didn't work for me. But yeah, that's interesting. Actually, I didn't clock that. We never actually saw. So they did a good job. I was gonna say, do you think it was intentional that they gave him a bad tux?
I don't
Because
know.
he
His
looked
hair
bad.
looked
It look it,
different.
it just it
There was a
wasn't right.
bit, the bit where he talks to Scully about, and she's saying, "I want to fly up and show," and he goes, "I've got my hands full here," right? And puts the phone down, and he's sitting on a bed, and his feet aren't reaching the floor, so it does look like, and his hair's different. Brush forward,
Yeah.
it does
Mm.
look like a kid who doesn't want to be at a wedding and has been made to put a suit on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
I wonder
vibe.
if it's intentional because are they trying to show that he's out of his element? He's dressed up in like a formal, like they're trying to make him seem as uncomfortable as possible. I don't know. I don't know.
Mulder does seem very uncomfortable through the entire episode, doesn't it? Apart from when he's alone with
From the moment,
Scully.
right, when her voice kicks in the car with the car bomb scare, right? Because
Yeah.
he's got that chemistry with Scully, but as they get in the car, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, we're X-Files, baby, we're back. And then and then she opens the door, surprise, and it all, it all goes wrong.
Ah, dear. Yeah, yeah. It's like it's hard work. I like the fact that Gillian Anderson doesn't, in my mind, portray any kind of jealousy. It's more like she's just abiding with these two idiots. All
It's
right.
yeah, she looks at it like I think you mentioned it. Like it's like when your kid has like a relationship as a teenager, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like that where you're just like, yeah, it's not
And
gonna
you
work.
don't really like the girlfriend or boyfriend,
Yeah, you're
but you
just like,
can't say
yeah,
anything, right? Because if you say something bad about them, that'll make them stick together
yeah,
even.
yeah,
Just say nothing. Say nothing.
yeah. That's how the vibe I got. It was more like a maternal kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah, uh,
Again, sort of speaking to your, yeah, Mulder being a kid.
yeah. It was so odd. I kind of like. I mean, just to say again, the fire effects were really cool. And I did like the "You Can't Fight Fire with Fire." I think that was just a cool. It's just a great iconic shot. Better,
Yeah,
far better than the episode deserved, frankly.
Yeah, the effects were good. I mean, that yeah, my
Yeah,
brain, I didn't even clock any of it, right? It was just perfect.
yeah,
I just hate it when I sometimes in my head I go, I think I got a better ending than what I was given.
yeah. And weirdly, thinking
I,
about it,
I
the
don't like that.
early episodes of Supernatural actually use fire in a similar way, in a really effective, kind of really cool looking way. And I wonder if Supernatural was kind of influenced a little by what's going on here.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I know they like the X Files. They reference the X Files, um, but would they reference this episode? I don't
I
know.
think there has been a few attempts at dude can control fire being a killer, or implied that it's or a killer in general who is an arsonist.
Yeah, there's ones in Buffy
But
as well.
yeah, I feel like they have all taken influence from this episode.
Yeah, possibly.
Um,
Weirdly, I
yeah,
just want to point out one influence on the X Files is an old show called Kolchak, right? Kolchak the Night
right. I
Stalker.
don't think I've ever watched
All right,
Kolchak
but
and
there
heard
is
of it.
okay. Maybe we'll do it sometime. However, one episode of that it ran for 20 basically it was two TV films which were very successful, and then it rolled into a 20-part series, right?
Mm,
One series, but one of
right.
the episodes of that is called Firefall, and it's about someone who conjures fire. Now I think in that one it might be a demon or a sort of spirit thing, right? A
Right, right.
ghost. I think it's a ghost actually, um
That sounds
that's
sick.
getting revenge on people, right?
That sounds
So it's a bit
awesome.
like Supernatural. So I think, given Chris Carter was heavily influenced by Kolchak, I think it's possible that
That's
this
his version
arose
of
via
Firefall.
via this. Yeah, this is his
Yeah,
version.
maybe.
Um, yeah. Um, it's just a weird episode. This there's so many misfires, but there's so many great bits to it, great elements to it, I should say. Um,
Yeah.
so it's so uneven, isn't it? It's so
Hmm.
uneven. I'm glad I
Yeah.
picked it though. I did enjoy it, really enjoy watching it again. But half of it was laughing a lot, and half of it was like, that's really cool. That bit's really cool. Things like that.
Yeah.
And Shepard really helps, as does Anderson's performance. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I can't persuade you to give it any higher than 4 out of
It's
10.
not going up, brother. It's not
Okay.
going up.
All right. All right. Okay. Okay.
It is not. It is just decidedly mid, I think.
Yeah, I bet we talk about this on episode more than any other. Whenever we're off mic, I bet you. I
Maybe. It
bet
comes up. It does come up. Yeah,
you.
yeah. It
Yeah.
does come up.
So there is that. All right then.
Mm.
Any like final thoughts then?
I don't think so. I just think I think we should watch Beyond the Sea next.
I wouldn't mind doing Eve as well, but yeah, I think Beyond the Sea. If we're going to do X Files again soon, I think Beyond the Sea is a must.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I was really, really looking forward to it, but I scrolled through Disney Plus and I thought, oh,
You were hit,
Fire
you
is
saw
just
her,
before it. Fire's just, oh, we should do Fire. And that was it,
hmm
mate. Once I
That
saw
was it.
that kind of, but I wasn't sure if you'd already watched Beyond the Sea. I didn't want to do Fire if you'd already, but you hadn't, so it
I
was
hadn't,
fine.
I was slacking
You should
as
have
usual.
lied.
Should have lied, yeah.
Should have lied.
No, 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 I've already watched it. Sorry.
All right then. So next time will be your choice, so you can have a think about what you're going to do.
Yes.
But let's lead ourselves out of this. So
Mm.
I want to believe.
The truth is out there.